Pizza Jaffa's orange grows. Microchips is us. iPhone cameras us. Taco salads us. Dodavabanos us. Olive Garden us. White phosphor us. Sabra Hamas. Hezbollah us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bad Hezbollah.
It's the world's most moral podcast, y'all.
My name is Matt Lieb. I'm going to be your world's most moral co-host for this podcast.
And today I thought I would try being Daniel Mate, your other world's most moral podcast co-host. How you doing, Matt?
Right. I'm good. How are you? How are things? How's life?
You know, life is lifing. I'm good, thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
good God, reality is shitty all over.
Yeah. Shit sucks.
Yeah.
Shit sucks, but at least they haven't outlawed podcasting.
No, they're thinking of rescheduling it.
Yeah. As like a schedule for narcotic, you mean?
Yeah, and I don't mean like our episodes coming out on a different day of the week. Yeah, a schedule for narcotic.
Yeah.
No, look, I mean, somehow I should say, some force, whether it's divine or biochemical or whatever you believe in, keeps opening our eyes every morning and giving us consciousness to take all this shit in and still laugh and love and shit and fart. So,
that's right. Mostly the shitting and the farting, and sometimes the eating in order to make more shit to fart out. We're very excited. Give us 5 stars in a review on your local podcast store. Let everyone you know about it, and subscribe if you are a viewer and not a listener, and you want to also if you're a listener, subscribe. But if you're a viewer, subscribe. You know,
I want to see those YouTube subscription counts go up.
We'd like to see those go up, and we'd like to do it with minimal effort. We don't want to put out a clip every day. I know that's how you get more subscribers. We don't play that game.
Shlomies don't play that.
That's right. Did you say shlomies don't play that? Yeah. We don't. We like to do this naturally. And so we want discoverability, but we don't want to try. So instead, tell your friends. Tell them, hey, you should listen to this podcast and also subscribe. Also, shout out to producer Adam Levin, who is always out here on the ones and twos with the amazing lower thirds. Our shows in Brooklyn, October 10th and 11th, still sold out.
Sorry,
but
you snozzed, you lost.
That's right. You're snoozing, you're losing, but guess what? You could be cruising to October 13th Bell House show, which is going to be really fun. We're going to be at the Bell House. Myself, my wife Francesca Fiorentini, Daniel Mate. We're going to be there doing stand-up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I've been working on my shit. I've been working on my first ever.
I'm so excited.
Tight 4.5.
What's the deal? So remember to start with what's the deal.
Actually, our guest did a fantastic Seinfeld inspired routine. Maybe we'll ask him about it.
Yeah. About how he dated as a 38-year-old, he dated a 16-year-old.
Well, he comes on stage as Jerry Seinfeld, making jokes about dating teenagers. What's the deal with parents being the same age as your girlfriends?
Yeah, that's
He's talking about girlfriends as if that's just what a girlfriend is.
Right,
it's
very
explaining
relatable.
his bit, probably ruining it, but it's very good.
That's always good. Do his bits. Thank you, Adam. But yes, please come out to the Bell House. Then also, if you are in Texas, tickets are going fast for the Punchline in Houston on August 28th. Francesca and I are going to be at the Punchline in Houston. Please get your tickets now. If you are anywhere near Houston, get your tickets because I want you guys to come out. I think that'll be fun.
We want you to come.
That's right. Oh man, I've lost track of my board. So I don't know who says what.
This is less and less like a Morning Zoo AM radio show every week.
It needs to be that though. Let's bring it back.
Do not come.
All right.
Do not come.
I want you to come.
See, I didn't know that Kamala started that one. Doesn't matter. Point is today's episode is brought to you by GazaDirect.com. GazaDirect.com is a collection of fundraising appeals from Palestinians in Gaza. Every hour spotlights a new campaign to help you connect with and fund those in distress. And the featured campaign is always selected for most urgent need. If you have any money and you wish to donate it, please go to GazaDirect.com. Find yourself a fundraiser to put some money into. Update on fundraisers. So we ended up, I think, grand total, $12,000 to the Gaza City Flower Fund.
Excellent.
That is, yeah. So I've been chatting with Moshen about that. He was very, he was very sweet about it. He's been showing me videos and, pictures of the food they're making and whatnot. They even added the Bad Hezbollah logo to their menu. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What an honor.
Yeah, I didn't know they were going to do that, and it's amazing. It's also very funny to have Bad Hezbollah be on the menu.
Oh, you mean the text, not the picture of Netanyahu with a cherry tomato?
No.
Because
Yes.
I wouldn't want the people of Gaza to have
to see this fucking genocidal mug. Yeah, no, it's just the text Bad Hezbollah is on their letterhead and near the menu and near everything that they're making and stuff, and it's very cool to see that. I didn't expect that, and right now that is one fund of many that you can see at GazaDirect.com. So please, if you have any money, please send it over. And thank you to everyone who was at the live stream and donated. That was very
well done,
cool.
everybody. Fucking done.
We made $1,900 from just the super chats and stuff alone, which was very cool. But throughout the live stream, we added another. We added $10,000 to it, which was amazing. I couldn't believe that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Daniel, what's the spin?
Today I have a little journey through the
I love journey.
ideological or identity spectrum covered by this podcast. Starting on the nefarious side of things, Beck, Midnight Vultures, contains the line, "She looks so Israeli" on the song Nicotine and Gravy.
She looks so Israeli could mean anything.
It's true.
It really could.
I think it's an ironic compliment in the context of that album. Then we have the Silver Jews, David Berman's group.
Yes.
Right. So
Very good.
Israelis to Jews. This is a collaboration between two Montreal groups. One is called Sons with two U's, and the other one is called Jerusalem in My Heart, who's a Montreal-based Arab Canadian. I'm not sure where he's from exactly. DJ. And just so Jerusalem in My Heart. So we got Israelis, Jews to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And then crossing over to the other side of the green line, Warren Zevon mentions Palestine in this by name in the song Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner.
Damn.
The Pixies shout out the Gaza Strip in the song River Euphrates on the album Surfer Rosa. And finally, getting all the way to the militant side of things, really taking a stand, really no doubt as to where this guy sits. Method Man on the album Tikal has a song called PLO Style.
Hell yeah.
Which I guess in the year 1995 was still plausibly
something
a sort of a synecdoche for, if that's the right term, for militancy and resistance as opposed to quisling collaboration and puppet governments.
You ever heard Method Man talk about his love and connection with Palestine?
I have not.
It's very human in that people. It was just a video where someone asked him, what's your love of Palestine? Can you explain? And he said, I live near a lot of Palestinians and a lot of Palestinian restaurants, and they always treat me right. And I was just like, I love that. I love that for him. It was just like they're part of the community and they're good people and they are not racist towards me.
That's freaking awesome. I mean, I guess he's talking about somewhere on Staten. I know that Bay Ridge, just over the Verrazano from him, has a ton of Palestinian restaurants, but maybe there's a Staten contingent too. Actually, there is, because I saw a documentary about a Palestinian Dabka group on Staten Island. Yeah,
on Staten Island. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What a place to be Palestinian. We're talking about Staten Island, I feel like has some of the in terms of like the Zionists who are there, they're just like, yuck. They're
terrible, and yet they've managed to make a one statin solution work.
Wow. Very good. So that is what is spinning, and Neutral Milk Hotel up there in the corner.
Yeah, I finally went in on some like aughts indie rock that I've been holding.
Mm-hmm.
I was too old for it, I think, in that decade. And I like distrusted it, and the idea of a group called Neutral Milk Hotel was just so twee. It turned me off.
Yeah.
But I finally got it, and it's very good. And I got Tame Impala up there too.
Oh, okay.
And
Look at you,
Fleet
branching.
Foxes and Boards of Canada.
Fleet Foxes.
Yeah.
Look at this.
But those are not the spin this week. Don't put those on the playlist.
Those are not on the playlist. Those are just in the background. Okay. We need to get to our guest. And we have what a guest, a great guest. He is a stand-up comedian. He is the host of the Quorators podcast about answering questions from Kora. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, proud to welcome our guest, Jeremy Kaplowitz.
Hi, how's it going?
It's
Thanks
going
for having me.
Good. How are
stuff.
you doing, dog?
I'm good.
I like your background. For those viewing, it's got sort of a Wayne's World thing going on.
Yeah, I've got like a green screen that I don't know. I just don't want people to look at my apartment, I guess.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow. Damn, the green screen did pretty good. Well, now I am seeing a little bit. There's a pillow. Yeah.
I can change it. We've got like Twin Peaks
All right.
background. My favorite thing to do is like if I'm in a Zoom meeting with someone who I probably shouldn't be fucking with.
Yeah.
If they like leave to go to the bathroom, I quickly screenshot their background and I change it. So I have like this random guy's background and like it's just like his house.
That's great. You just like you're right next to him all of a sudden.
Yeah. See if
The
they
Zoom
notice.
is coming from inside the house.
Yes, it's coming from inside the Zoom.
Do we have the same fan? And I'm like, yeah, I guess.
I don't know, man. Is that my wife?
Love your color palette, dude.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Real quick, we need to ask you about Quorators because I love
Sure.
podcasts with ideas. It sounds like you had an idea and made it into a podcast.
Yeah.
This is. Tell me what it's about. It's about answering questions on Kora, I assume.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the idea was. It was, what's the easiest podcast we could do? And the answer
Israel
is,
Palestine.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But make it funny.
Yeah, funny Israel Palestine. Yeah.
No, Quora is a website where people ask questions and other people answer questions, and everyone on it is just like insane. So we just we read people's questions, and then a cool thing about Quora is that everybody seems to put their like home address on the website.
Yeah,
so
what
like
is that?
they'll ask a question. Like a lot of them are like really perverted, so they'll ask a question like, "Is it cool if I like fantasize about my mom having sex with me?" And then it's like, "I live in Des Moines. This is my full name."
Yeah, here are my cross streets.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I don't know. Quora is a crazy. It's a weird website. It's a weird one.
I've yet to like go through Kora. I mean, it's like occasionally I'll Google and then it'll be like, this question is answered on Kora, and then I click it and it's never answered.
I had no idea what it was until I tuned into your podcast, and I decided to just give it a try. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I created a profile called
Nice.
Pod Curious.
Hell yeah! Oh look, you got what is that? PC Principal?
I wanted to call him Pod Curious Principal. And my first question, but I wasn't quite sure how to submit it. But here it is. What do you guys think of the podcast Bad Hasbara? Someone recommended it, but also I heard these guys might be secret anti-Semites.
Oh,
So,
I'd love to hear what the people have to say about that.
Yeah,
I also love how the UI on the site is so bad that you can't figure out how to do the one thing you can do on the website, which is
Truly.
ask a question.
Yeah.
Truly, it's like it's bloated with ads too.
Yeah.
So like sometimes I think I'm reading something and then it's like I've gotten like 3 sentences into some copy about like, you know, renting a VRBO, and I'm just like, just please answer question, make easy. You know,
It's a beautiful place. Jordan Peterson got his start there.
What?
Winston Scott Card's on there. It's crazy. Yeah, Jordan Peterson. I don't think people know that like his 5 rules for life book or whatever
started as a Quora post.
Yeah, he was just writing a bunch on Quora, and people were like, "You got to put this in a book." And he was like, "Okay." And then, yeah,
God damn! And from there, it just
But every answer would be something like,
But well, you're asking the question, but what the question is, where's the question coming from?
Yeah, people would be like,
Every question contains within it its own answer.
there's like a 14-year-old like, my teacher's mad at me because I didn't do my homework, and he's like, she's a dragon. She represents chaos.
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna have to spend more time on Kora, but yeah, check out Quorators, everybody. Listen to that podcast. Put it in your podcast playlist.
stick it in your ear holes.
Yes. So we need to talk a little bit about our top story. This is one of those top stories that is just the last few days have been very depressing, at least for us in the Bad Hasbar group chat and in the Lieb household in general, and probably throughout your own households, dear Bad Hasbar listeners. There was a Israeli strike targeted assassination of a bunch of Al Jazeera journalists in Gaza City. And
they basically murked a whole bureau.
Yes. This is coming on the backs of obviously almost 2 years now of just, brazen journalist murder that they've been doing. It's one of those situations where it's not surprising, but still incredibly shocking. So we have to start with this today. In terms of Hasbara, it's like just the more deadly and evil consequences of this type of Hasbara, So his name was Anas Al-Sharif, and it was him and other Al Jazeera journalists. They were murdered in an Al Jazeera press tent outside of the Al-Shifa hospital in eastern Gaza City.
I assume the tent was marked press, just like their shirts are.
Yes. And this was,
Israel thinks when they see press, it means the button.
Yeah. They're always waiting to go, well, I don't know if I should. Oh, well, it says press. And then they do. And it was, obviously the most famous, of the journalists was Anas Al-Sharif, but there were also other journalists killed. There's a guy, Mohammed Quorators. I can't pronounce it. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Ibrahim Zahir, Mohammed Nufal, and a freelancer named Mohammed Al-Khaldi, and an assistant whose name I wasn't able to find. And, it was one of those things where they had been telegraphing it. The Israeli government and also their Hasbaras had been saying, essentially, setting up all of the dominoes to fall at this point. They had been calling him, a Hamas terrorist. They had been posting pictures of him with the crosshairs on him, doing all the shit that lets everyone know who's been paying attention that they're going to openly murder this guy and take credit for it.
Including most egregiously, I think that Palestinian guy Ahmed. What's his name? Have we talked about him on the show?
Yes. No, you know what? We have not done an episode on him yet.
Snitch.
He is a writer for The Atlantic, and his entire thing is being the token Palestinian Hasbarist who only writes about how the tragedy is Hamas's fault. Everything is Hamas's fault. He did an entire article about Hamas is starving Gaza, and he had been also targeting Anas for assassination as well.
That's what happens when you have too many sleepovers with Jeffrey Goldberg.
That's right. That's right. So just some background on this. This is from the Financial Times, who actually did journalism about it. They said Sharif was among the last remaining Al Jazeera correspondents in Gaza, reporting most recently from northern Gaza, where a famine continues to unfold under an Israeli blockade. The strike on the journalists comes after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the army to prepare to expand its offensive and take over Gaza City.
Now, Jeremy, let me ask you something, because I can't connect these two things. I mean, there's two random, what is the meaning of this sequence of events? Netanyahu announcing that they're going to invade Gaza City and complete the ethnic cleansing and occupation of the Gaza Strip, and then for some reason going and bombing 5 journalists in a press tent. Why would they do those two things consecutively?
And this is a question for Jeremy, you say?
That's a question for Jeremy. Yes.
As a comedian, I'm so glad that you guys to answer this question.
As someone who handles questions for a living.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's just no way to know. It's impossible to know.
It's impossible to know.
That's the answer I was looking for.
And the best way to know is to ask the perpetrators, I've always said.
Definitely.
Because they usually do have an answer. But yeah, they go on in this article to say the IDF did not reply to a query regarding the timing of the killing. Sharif's location was widely known from his near daily broadcasts outside of Shifa Hospital, including an emotional one in late July about a woman who had fainted, reportedly from hunger outside of the gates.
It's funny to throw in the word reportedly when you're talking about what a journalist reported.
Right. Yeah. That's a good, I mean, technically it's right. He reported reportedly. But yeah, it is. I mean, obviously the connection here is like so crystal clear in terms of like we are about to launch this major offensive in Gaza City. And the only journalists on the ground, people are putting their lives at risk in order to report, which is the job of reporter, reportedly, are the ones who are immediately murdered before this operation takes place. And I gotta say, at a time when Western journalists and media people are starting to do the thing where they go like, Israel, I think it's doing a little bit too much, like when they start going like, I think we really need to put our arm around our best friend and say, hey, buddy, why you gotta be like that? Maybe you calm down, take a chill pill.
Come on. No one would literally say those words.
No one would literally.
No real human being would actually speak that way.
Yes. No.
As I'm sure we'll find out later.
As we will find out later. But it's like seeing the amount of uproar for like, let's say, Stephen Colbert getting his show canceled.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then this story happens and just the Hezbollah machine takes over again. Everyone's brain just kind of like defaults to like, I don't know, whatever the IDF said, settings.
Look, man, if Gaza's journalists wanted to be lauded as a crucial piece of the cultural landscape and commentaries on what's going on in the world, they should have dressed up as syringes and done the vaccine dance.
That's right. Exactly.
Trump should just say that Colbert is a terrorist. I don't know why Trump doesn't just say that he's got like a terrorist cell in New York of like late night
That's
writers.
a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
He did have Zoran on his show.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They've got pictures of Colbert and Zoran together. Yeah, I mean, the amount of uproar from that, and then the silence, the sheer fucking like not just silence but also like justification and passive voice writing about this is just like it's a reminder of the fact that every time you think for a second that any of these people are gonna like open their fucking eyes, that they were just doing the thing that we've been asking for a while, which is give us lip service at least,
To be genuinely fair.
Clarissa
Ward of CNN, who's done all kinds of shady shit in the past, did do sort of an earnest seeming walk and talk on her way to work.
Ooh, I love a walk and talk.
Outraged about the killing of these journalists, outraged about Israel's continued killing of journalists, and saying that behind the scenes, she and so many other journalist people are writing letters and signing petitions and whatever. And so far, it hasn't done a damn thing. That's her quote. So it's something, but it's hard to get to cheerleady coming from one of CNN's propagandists over the past few years.
Yeah, one of their Hezbollah for sure. I mean, in terms of what media outlets have been doing, well, let's read a little bit from the New York Times. Check out this fucking headline. What to know about Al Jazeera, the broadcaster targeted by Israel. Okay. Al Jazeera, 5 of whose reporters the broadcaster said were killed by an Israeli strike.
The broadcaster broadcasted.
Yeah.
The reporter reported.
Has angered governments across the region that claim it gives voice to terrorists.
Hold on. What's angered governments across the... Oh, the network has angered governments.
Al Jazeera, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Claims it gives voices to terrorists. The outlet denies that. I mean, this is the type of reporting that they're doing on this is basically just to reinforce the Israeli narrative, which is just fucking Al Jazeera is all terrorists. This was their entire excuse for everything they've done. With regards to these journalists, is they're just constantly tying Anas Al-Sharif to Hamas. And they do so by like posting pictures of them together, you see this is from, I don't know, some schmuck. Only a terrorist sits in the gatherings of terrorists. A picture gathers the military activists in Hamas. This is obviously a translation, disguised as a journalist, alongside his terrorist comrades, or rather his leaders in Hamas, the ISIS like Sinwar and Al-Haya. Like, it's
and
pictures.
We now cut to coverage of the White House press dinner, starring Stephen Colbert.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
headline of the New York Times article also is
Let's go back to
like,
that. Yeah.
It's written like one of those articles where they're like, "What you need to know about Christopher Nolan's new movie." It's gonna come out in 3 years. I don't know.
Yes. It does have the like same kind of tone, like sociopathic tone of a listicle about asking about when season 3 of The Last of Us is going to come out, and the answer is always like, oh, I don't know, man. We just kind of created this through
There's
an
a teaser. You saw it. That's what we know.
Yeah. What do we know?
Subconsciously, I think it functions as a, before you feel badly about these people,
Yes.
here's what you need to know. So you're considering having human compassion and ordinary, everyday moral outrage. Well, here's what you need to know before you embark on that perilous journey.
Yeah, exactly. And, this is what this type of Hezbollah has served to do for a while, which is just kind of like give you the proper context in which to continue to ignore why everyone's so angry.
And that is the liberal approach to Hezbollah. That's how you Hezbollah liberals, because liberals want to know what they need to know before they can compartmentalize things away.
Yeah, there's like this deep need of liberals to be like this fear of emotion as a manipulative tool.
Yeah.
To a degree where anytime there is something horrifying, they kind of go like, well, there's got to be some other information that explains.
Unless Trump did it.
Right. Unless a like an open and out and open like political enemy has done it, they're like, wait.
Yeah.
Certainly, there's no reason to be this mad about anything, and that's like their constant refrain. It's just like there's got to be a reasonable explanation that will allow me to continue to ignore this.
Slava Ukraini.
Yeah. So
Jeremy, were you going to say something?
I was just thinking, it reminds me a lot of like in the U.S. If when the police kill anyone and they're like, well, he smoked weed a few times, so here's what you need to know. Here's the background. Yes, yeah, and like it's the constant like he was no angel refrain of anytime there's a killing of an unarmed black man. It's just kind of like, well, have you seen this picture of him? Looking tough, and it's just like watching that be repeated over and over again by liberals. It's just like, it's just disgusting given the fact that they're like, at this point, allowing themselves to be like, well, starvation is bad for sure. Right, guys? We got like, that's wrong. And then immediately they can, it's fucking gross.
Well, because liberals can relate to being hungry. They can't relate to being bombed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes brunch is late.
Yes. The BBC did this. This is just a quick clip from them. Again, repeating the Hasbara.
Throughout the war, there's the question of proportionality. Is it justified to kill 5 journalists when you are only targeting 1?
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Did he really just say, is it ask the philosophical Socratic question? Is it justifiable to kill five journalists when you're only targeting 1?
The age-old question. If you're trying to kill one guy and you kill all the guys, is that all right? Is that, Jeremy, is that something you can answer from Quora?
Yeah, that actually is kind of a Quora-esque question. How many journalists? Let's figure out the math on how many journalists are okay to kill.
Yes, the collateral damage on journalists as being some like, well, this is always asked in J schools throughout the world is how many of us can die and it be okay if one is bad.
Yeah, the Supreme Court actually ruled on this. No, but the crazy part, think of that framing. It's not like it would be bad enough if they said, how many journalists are you allowed to kill in order to get one armed militant who mass raped people on October 7th.
Right.
Some bullshit construction like that. That would be bad enough. But that is sort of that's where proportionality in international law, which itself is a deeply problematic concept, comes in. That would be a fair use of that. But what they said is, how many journalists are you allowed to kill in order to kill one journalist? Who says you have the right to kill a single fucking journalist?
Also, like, I'm not like, particularly pro Russia or whatever, but isn't that like the big thing that people always say about Russia, where they're like,
constantly,
they kill journalists over there?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, well, if they were targeting it, then that's fine.
Yeah. It is like, I mean, that constant double standard is like, you can see that even in the tone of the articles that are written about it. Like one will say like, Putin lying about a journalist in order to imprison him for life. And then, when it comes to Israel, it's just like, I don't know, IDF says tweets were genocidal in nature and therefore it's okay. And they just allow it. They just let it happen. That question is so fucked up because it's coming from a journalist. That's another journalist who's just like, well, we've always wondered how many of us need to die in order to kill the right guy. Like, it's these guys. I mean,
a lot of these guys would probably say under oath, if it, like, gun to their head, they'd be like, I got into this business not because it's safe, but because it actually contains dangers, and it would be my honor to be assassinated by the IDF in the line of duty.
100%. Yeah, it's like there's one reason and one reason alone that I became a journalist, and it was to cower in the face of the IDF and give them what they want. Yeah, man, I can't, like, it's so hard watching that shit, and who they're talking about, Anas and all of his journalist colleagues who have displayed more bravery in the last, 18 months than any of these fuckers.
He was also a beautiful
could conjure
guy.
Ever in their lives.
He was 28 years old, a father of a young girl. There's an incredible video of him with his daughter. He's playfully asking her, hey, they want us to leave. Are we going to leave? And she says, no, we're not going to leave. He says, well, what if we go to Egypt? She says, we don't want to go to Egypt. We want to stay in Gaza. Well, what if we go to Jordan? No, we're going to stay in Gaza. And he's holding her and they're smiling at the camera. I mean, he's just such a likable, not that Palestinians have to be likable in order for their lives to matter, but he was clearly a dedicated, passionate man of considerable integrity and more courage than any of us will ever need to muster. I think at some point, maybe before the break, we'll read his last will and testament, which I think maybe his own words will speak it more eloquently than I can.
Yeah. It's just like the disservice of having to like the people reporting on the death of a real journalist who actually put his life on the line every fucking day to report something that the Israeli government is so afraid of being reported that they have banned journalism and killed journalists across the strip, like, then you're being eulogized by these fucking snakes at the BBC who are just like, well, as we all know, this death took place in a vacuum. You know, how is it okay to kill 5 other journalists to kill one? And it's like, even if that were something you were willing to be like, yeah, fine, that's okay, that's written in international law or something. What about the 200 plus other journalists who have been killed in the last 22 months? Like, the fools are just, every atrocity exists as its own outlier. And it makes me want to fucking scream. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm getting a little.
I'd love to know what was the report after the BBC thing too. If it just cut to like, and now we're on the streets of London determining what the best ice cream flavor is.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite ice cream flavor is pigeon. Yeah. What else were they reporting on that day? Oh man. So I mean, in terms of the other Hezbollah, I got to read a little bit from this is insane. So the National Post. The National Post is not a newspaper I'm all that familiar with. Daniel, you seem to know this. This is a Canadian thing?
Yeah. So the National Post arose in the mid-90s, I think, to counter the Globe and Mail, which is sort of Canada's paper of record, which isn't saying much, but it's, the main one. And the National Post is sort of a more conservative version of it, and it's become quite the right-wing rag over the years. It was owned by Conrad Black, who was a Canadian mogul, British lord, asshole.
I love you guys got your own guys.
Yeah.
It's just like Conrad Black. I don't know. He sounds bad.
Yeah, he's bad. So the National Post is a ridiculous outlet.
Yes.
But very widely read,
yes,
relatively speaking.
And they put out this post talking about Anas, in which they said, IDF kills Hamas terror cell leader posing as, quote, Al Jazeera journalist. Don't know why there's quotes around Al Jazeera in that.
There should be quotes around National Post.
Yeah, exactly. Just like
actually, especially since you discovered something incredible, Matt.
Yes. So the article itself is right here, and it says the Israeli strike in Gaza slays Anas Al-Sharif, who Israel says posed as an Al Jazeera journalist while directing rocket attacks for Hamas. And it says by National Post Wire Services, this was actually updated when we took it. Before, when they initially reported the story, it was the byline was the Jewish News Syndicate,
which, if you think is made up, we've covered the Jewish News Syndicate. That's the group that Norm Coleman was visiting.
Yes.
And he talked about how Jews are the masters of the universe. Why aren't we controlling the narrative more tightly?
Yes. Adam says the media control amalgamated. Yes. Like the Jewish News Syndicate, if you listen to this podcast, you know about it because of their insanely anti-Semitic coded name. And the fact that this was straight up just written by something called the Jewish News Syndicate, it's funny that they immediately changed the title. They were like, we got to change this byline. People might think, I don't know.
Yeah, that is by the Jewish News Syndicate.
Right.
They might think that.
Yeah, they might think it's written by a propaganda outlet doing pro-Israel propaganda.
And from that, they might conclude that there's a syndicate of Jews who control the news.
Syndicate is never like a positive word, is it? I've never heard people say syndicate positive.
Yes.
Ice-T's posse was called the Rhyme Syndicate, and I can't imagine that would be based on anything nefarious.
Yeah,
they just like to rhyme.
No one has ever self-applied syndicate. Like, it's an insane thing to call it.
Motherfucker, is you bylining a criminal conspiracy?
That's crazy.
Shout out Stringer Bell. But yeah, this, and this article, of course, just repeats all the same fucking talking points, about Anas being secret Hamas terrorist. You know, the Israel Defense Forces killed Anas Al-Sharif, who posed as a journalist for the Qatari Al Jazeera network, but was actively serving as the head of a Hamas terrorist cell. Okay, so now he's not just part of Hamas, he's the head of a cell.
And no attribution in
none.
That paragraph-sized sentence.
Yeah.
Zero attribution. That the only attribution comes at the end of the next sentence.
Yes, where he says the IDF previously released intelligence and recovered many documents in Gaza that confirmed Al-Sharif's, quote, military role within Hamas. These materials included personal rosters, records of terrorist training courses, phone directories, and salary documents, all substantiating his involvement as a combatant and commander in Hamas. I mean, again, he's a commander.
They recovered Mein Kampf trapper keepers from his children's bedroom.
Exactly.
No one has the time to be a journalist and a terrorist. Those are two full-time jobs.
Seriously.
100%. That is, I mean, straight up, that is the truth of it. Anyone who is actually posing that this is an excuse that would make sense in any way as knows nothing about journalism, especially knows nothing about being a journalist in a war zone.
Comedian and podcaster, certainly.
Yes.
Happens all the time.
Those actually both are a quarter of a job.
But even Jeffrey, even once you have those two, you still have to But Jeffrey Goldberg was not running the Atlantic and torturing Palestinians at the Ketzia prison. And
he did one and then the other.
Exactly.
Yes.
It was a Shabbatical.
And also, I just love the idea that this person who reported every single fucking day during a genocide and reported out in the open, and you knew where he was. He had a fucking, there was no secret. He was not in hiding anywhere. The idea that, like, as soon as the camera was off, they're like, well, what was he doing then? And it's like, preparing for the next fucking, thing he's going to report on. The idea that he is leading that kind of double life is such fucking horse shit. It defies, like, I don't know, any fucking, I mean, obviously it's all bad faith. It's all just people, like, making shit up, but fucking A, if it's not the most egregiously evil shit. The evidence also highlighted Al-Sharif's integration within Al Jazeera, despite the media network's efforts to distance itself from his activities. The documents detail Al-Sharif's position as a fighter and cell leader since his enlistment in Hamas in 2013. I mean, this is constant talk about the documents. And meanwhile, the documents.
28 also 2013. He'd be like 15 years old or 16.
Yeah. Well, they're they get them early. They teach their kids how to hate.
Right.
They teach their kids how to write copy, and then they teach them how to hate.
Yes,
because they need to be journalists and terrorists at the same time.
Right. Yeah. And like this constant refrain of like, oh, Israel has this information that ties it all together. I mean, the truth of it is Israel has been doing what it's done for every targeted assassination it's done out in the open, which was like, we're going to lay the groundwork early on. We're going to start posting about how, oh, this guy is actually works for Hamas. It's
Israel's version of we really need to get out ahead of this.
Yeah.
That's usually for crisis management after something. They get out ahead of every single assassination.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. It's the idea that they think that is a reasonable excuse. That's just called premeditation. That's
called the chilling of the blood in which you murder.
Yeah, that's exactly very cold-blooded.
Yeah, well, there's two sides of every story, and me and my fellow colleagues at the syndicate are rubbing our hands together on this issue, and we're sniffing out the news.
All 8 of your tentacles.
Yeah, exactly. We're just sitting here, hand-wringing, thinking about how we're going to explain this to the world.
People always
say, like, too evil.
There's all this like anti-Semitism. Every time someone lands on like free parking in Monopoly, we have to like call the ADL or whatever, and then like the fucking Jewish news syndicate.
I know.
Some guy in London pulled a really funny prank on the police. They arrested him for wearing a Free Palestine, or was it
Free parking
Palestine?
shirt?
It was Palestine Action.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, if you look closely, it says Plasticine Action, and there's a picture of a claymation figure.
Wow.
And they had to release him once they realized it was
awesome.
misspelled.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, no, yeah. The amount of groundwork that was laid in order to openly and publicly execute him and his colleagues is insane, especially given what Israel decides to tweet as fact is usually just pictures of things that they're like, well, here's our documents. Here's the IDF Dock Dump. So it starts off with struck Hamas terrorist Anas Al-Sharif, who posed as an Al Jazeera journalist. He was the head of a Hamas terrorist cell and advanced rocket attacks on Israeli civilians and IDF troops. Intelligence and documents from Gaza, including yada, 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 is proof here. A press badge isn't a shield for terrorism. So now everything that they posted is just... So it's a list of Hamas operatives in Northern Gaza Strip Brigade. And, they've got... It's the same thing they do with every fucking thing, where they're like, we found the list. If there's one thing that Hamas is really good at is putting their spies and operatives in fucking Google presentation and or Google spreadsheets. The idea that all of these people are always found somewhere in the Gaza Strip on a printed out spreadsheet should cause any journalist to pause.
Yeah, rendered with fancy graphics, no doubt, by the division of the Israeli army that's populated with people on like various spectrums that are not fit for combat or field operations, but they're really good with Canva.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this is
pressuring like Google and Canva to remove Hamas's accounts. That's
I know.
what we should be focused on.
Exactly. I mean, the real problem here is that the Google Cloud is allowing, yahya.sinwar@gmail.com to continue distributing information. So this is an image that they posted in which they said, and this image has been shared everywhere. Every time someone goes, yo, Israel just like assassinated a bunch of journalists, someone will post this like, oh, journalist, you say? Well, here is Anas Jamal Al-Sharif, his enlistment date.
Date of birth,
Yes.
March 12th, 1996. Enlistment date to Hamas, March 12th, 20. What is this? Barely legal? Like they were waiting for him to turn 17 exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like a fucking driver's license. What the fuck?
Exactly. Well, first you get the Hamas learner's permit, and you can be Hamas but with parental supervision. And then once you hit 17, then you officially can be Hamas and rent a Hamas car.
The Hamas mobile.
Yes. Hamas Mobile. Organizational affiliation, Hamas, East Jabalia Battalion. Positions held. Head of a terrorist cell in a Hamas-guided rockets platoon who posed as a journalist.
Man, the font on that business card was sure small.
Yeah, dude, it's hard to read. I love it. Yeah, it is shaped like a business card here where they're like...
Positions held. That was his official position.
Yeah. I think the one thing that people should know is anyone can get Canva and make up a bunch of shit about someone.
And it becomes true.
And it becomes true immediately.
If it's done on Canva and saved as a PNG,
then it's real. And I know this because Adam made some laying the groundwork for our execution. Here is yours, Daniel. Daniel Mate, cold, unemotional. Prefers the experience of Spotify ad tier to vinyl. Frequently at loss for words. Little squiggle thing over the E is fake.
Yeah,
that is true.
Spotify ads are not a shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Here I am, drones.
Yeah. Matt Lieb, low key is not that tall, actually. Has no opinion on gabagool. Does a perfect English accent, any region. Knows ball. Do I know ball? Adam, what do you mean I know ball? I'll let you answer in the lower third.
Adam's jokes are so inside.
All jokes start out inside the head.
It's true.
Yeah, you can just make any fucking PNG you want. Hassan decried your lack of ball knowledge. It wasn't just ball knowledge, Adam. It was
ball skill.
My skill. And I also decry that. Yeah, it is completely depressing and unconscionable. It was so clear that they were laying the groundwork for his death. So much so that he had published a tweet with his last will and testament when they knew, after months of stalking and very recently weeks of them doing open threats. Basically, we're going to find you, we're going to kill you. And this is what they did. They did this with Rafat. They do this with everybody. So he published his last will and testament on Twitter. And I have that here. Daniel, you can read that.
All right. This is a rough read. This is beautiful and heartbreaking. And there will not be any jokes throughout this part of the podcast today. This is my will and my final message. If these words reach you, know that Israel has succeeded in killing me and silencing my voice. First, peace be upon you and Allah's mercy and blessings. Allah knows I gave every effort and all my strength to be a support and a voice for my people ever since I opened my eyes to life in the alleys and streets of the Jabalia refugee camp. My hope was that Allah would extend my life so that I could return with my family and loved ones to our original town of occupied Ascalon al-Majdal, which I assume is now Ashkelon in Israel. But Allah's will came first and his decree is final. I have lived through pain in all its details. By the way, I'm never jealous of other people's religions, except when I read the words of Muslims accepting, facing mortality. There is something about this particular liturgy and attitude towards the inevitable, which is ultimately inevitable for all of us, but in particular in the cases of Palestinians, where the inevitability, the method, the form that the inevitability takes is so intolerable, and so unfathomable, and so unjust. It kind of silences something in me in a way that is very moving. But Allah's will came first and his decree is final. I have lived through pain and all its details, tasted suffering and loss many times, yet I never once hesitated to convey the truth as it is without distortion or falsification, so that Allah may bear witness against those who stayed silent, those who accepted our killing, those who choked our breath, and whose hearts were unmoved by the scattered remains of our children and women, doing nothing to stop the massacre that our people have faced for more than a year and a half. I entrust you with Palestine, the jewel and the crown of the Muslim world, the heartbeat of every free person in this world. I entrust you with its people, with its wronged and innocent children who never had the time to dream or live in safety and peace. Their pure bodies were crushed under thousands of tons of Israeli bombs and missiles, torn apart and scattered across the walls. I urge you not to let chains silence you, nor borders restrain you. Be bridges toward the liberation of the land and its people until the sun of dignity and freedom rises over our stolen homeland. I entrust you to take care of my family. I entrust you with my beloved daughter Sham, the light of my eyes, whom I never got the chance to watch grow up as I had dreamed. I entrust you with my dear son Salah, whom I had wished to support and accompany through life until he grew strong enough to carry my burden and continue the mission. I entrust you with my beloved mother, whose blessed prayers brought me to where I am, whose supplications were my fortress, and whose light guided my path. I pray that Allah grants her strength and rewards her on my behalf with the best of rewards. I also entrust you with my lifelong companion, my beloved wife, Salah Bayan, from whom the war separated me for many long days and months. Yet she remained faithful to our bond, steadfast as the trunk of an olive tree that does not bend, patient, trusting in Allah, and carrying the responsibility in my absence with all her strength and faith. I urge you to stand by them, to be their support after Allah Almighty. If I die steadfast upon my principles. I testify before Allah that I am content with his decree, certain of meeting him, and assured that what is with Allah is better and everlasting. O Allah, accept me among the martyrs, forgive my past and future sins, and make my blood a light that illuminates the path of freedom for my people and my family. Forgive me if I have fallen short, and pray for me with mercy, for I kept my promise and never changed or betrayed it. Do not forget Gaza, and do not forget me in your sincere prayers for forgiveness and acceptance. Anas Al-Sharif. I'm assuming that's the 4th of June, 2025, or it could be the 6th of April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what our beloved Anas requested to be published upon his martyrdom. Well, on that note, I think we should take a quick break. And when we come back, we will be dry-eyed and we will start, the part where we aren't sad.
Our eyes will be dry, and so will our satirical powder.
And so will my... You know what? We'll be right back. And we're back. This is Badass Bara, the world's most moral podcast. And we're here with Jeremy Kaplowitz. How you doing, Jeremy? Hey. Fuck yeah, dude.
You ever gone back and watched that commercial and sort of remembered what it was like to first see that commercial? Like, I remember feeling like, shit, we're in some new reality. And we were. It was the start of memes.
Yeah. That was like the first meme ever. And we all got it from TV. And not from the internet, and we all started doing what's up with each other, and one thing led to another, and now Trump's
Donald
president.
Trump, is our president.
Now that's what's up.
Was on South Park.
Yeah, I know. We should if I had a time machine, I'd go back in time and kill the "What's up" guys. That would help. So speaking of whatever we were just talking about, we need to talk a little bit about Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete went on a show that has purportedly claimed to save America. And he went on to talk with Jon Favreau of the crooked media variety, not the swingers variety. He answered a few questions about Palestine that everyone's been sending this to us like crazy.
He answered a few questions. He said some things after a question was asked.
Yes, and we got to talk.
This would never fly on Quora.
No. On Kora, everyone just gets down to business. So yeah, here is Mayor Pete, ex-head of the Department of Transportation, talking with Jon Favreau about stuff.
An ex-human being. Like, let's just take a look at him first of all in these shots.
Yeah.
He was very AI in it.
Yeah, he does, straight up. Like, look at this.
Look at this.
Extremely AI generated.
Which led Matt to one of your best nickname puns ever.
Yeah, he looks like fucking Rat GPT. Like, he's straight up just like, and the way he like looks and the way he answers questions, everything about it seems like an AI prompt. Like, this is
like somehow his face has 6 fingers.
Yes.
It feels like he was like generated in a lab to be president, but he's still so far from ever having it happen. It's just like, it's so weird.
And every look at the beard itself. I'm just like, come on, guy. Like, I love when a fucking politician is like, I need a rebrand. Someone get me one of those working class beards. And I'm sorry, but he can't.
Still.
Yeah, they start cursing.
It's from a different dimension. And his background looks faker than yours, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, look at that.
Any 90s comedy background.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this is what Jon Favreau looks like. God.
Yeah, all right. So, like the Teletubbies set. What is going on at Pod Save America? What is happening there?
Oh, yeah. He does kind of look like he's about to check in with the Tiddly-Tubbies. But here is the question that was asked, and credit where credit is due. Yes. I feel like after Tommy Vitor and I yelled at each other online. I have been happy with the fact that they have at least dedicated a few of their episodes, moments in a few of their episodes, to talk about Israel Palestine and to talk about the genocide and to openly discuss it, if only in an electoral sort of fashion.
Wow, but they've called for a full arms embargo, and they even said, in sort of a slightly roundabout way, like, look, we were part of the problem. We were part of the Obama administration. Like, mea culpa, and like, we got to try to make this right.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's something.
Not nothing.
I just hope that lasts. Like, in 2028, when somebody runs to the left, I hope they're not like, well, I mean, come on, guys, please be pragmatic about this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or when Buttigieg is running, they'll be like,
right, exactly.
He's the best we got.
And the fact, that they would ask Pete these questions, Mayor Pete these questions, also speaks to them at the very least trying to not hold these people accountable, but like doing what I told Tommy Vitor. I was like, who the fuck is stopping you? Use your pod save powers and fucking go through the Rolodex, start calling guys and be like, hey, seems like Israel's bad.
You're like Han Solo talking to C-3PO. Well, if you're such a god, then command them.
Yes. I mean, but straight up, and credit where credit's due, they've done it. So here's them asking Mayor Pete, and not in a way that's like, I'm going to hold him, his feet to the fire, just like a simple question that he, let's hear his answer.
Do you think it's time to recognize a Palestinian state?
I think that's a profound question that.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's just. I think that's a profound question. How have it? All right.
A lot of the biggest problems that have happened with Israel's survival. Israel's right to survive.
Hold on. Go back. We missed a key verb there.
Yes.
That's a profound question. That what?
I think that's a profound question that arouses a lot of the biggest problems that have happened with Israel's survival.
The questions are making the problems aroused, says producer Adam.
Yeah. We got to be careful with some of these problems get pretty rambunctious, all torqued up. Yeah. We don't want to get, if you start getting the problems bricked up, then they're going to be thrown. I'll just say that much. I mean, just the cowardice of this statement. Like you're asking.
It's a hard problem. You don't want that problem to get any harder.
Yeah. You're asking some pretty horny questions.
Right to survival in the diplomatic scene, and many of the people who have taken that step historically have done so for different reasons than what we see happening with European countries.
I think diplomatic scene.
I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about here. Let's try to parse it.
The arousal thing too is repainting this whole thing for me too, because now I'm like looking at his eyes, and it's like, I think like if you've worked at McKinsey, like you just get horny at the idea of like not answering a foreign policy question. Yeah. Who's to say? I don't know.
That's part of the internship. When we're there at first, they just they keep checking your dick to make sure that the problems being aroused are.
You sort of give a rim job counterclockwise to the question. You flit your tongue around it.
You ever see that like old Tosh.0 bit where he like tries to find out how gay his employees are by making them all watch gay porn and seeing which of them gets a boner?
Yeah,
that should be like the Democratic Party. Like they should show like shitty answers to Israel questions, and then each candidate for president, they see who gets the hardest.
Yeah. They need to measure the quantity of blood in boner to see who gets whose problems are more aroused. But him trying to answer this is baffling.
Problems that have happened with Israel's survival, Israel's right to survival in the diplomatic scene, and many of the people who have taken that step historically have ddone so for different reasons.
Israel's never had a problem with its right to survival in the quote unquote diplomatic scene.
Diplomatic scene. And he's talking about, the people who have done that in the past have had other reasons than those in Europe. So you're saying, I'm sorry, just to be clear, that the problem is that the Arabs have always wanted a Palestinian state for the wrong reason. And now the Europeans who are calling for a Palestinian state want it for the right reason, in which case, do you support that? Which is a real, that's the first question. I love the preamble.
If we can regime change all the Arab states and make them subservient to Western powers, and then get them to subsort a Palestinian state for the right reasons, which is that it would be one more subservient Arab state, completely demilitarized, then it would wipe the slate clean from all the bad reasons.
Yes, and as far as I can tell, it seems like, I mean, if you're talking about the UK, the right reasons he's talking about for a Palestinian state are as a bargaining chip.
Yeah.
That's why the UK is doing it. They're
Did
like,
you see that, Jeremy? Where
they're
Keir
like
Starmer
threatened,
threatened, unless you this and that, we're going to recognize your
we're
enemies.
going to start thinking these are people if you don't kill them.
Yeah, you better watch out. Yeah.
I just hate when there's scene drama. It bums me out.
Scene drama in the diplomatic scene is some of the worst because, I mean, what's the point of a diplomatic scene if there's drama?
Yeah. Have you gone cruising in the diplomatic scene lately?
When I was growing up, I was a diplomatic scene kid. My hair was all straight, and I would fucking listen to all the diplomatic scene music. Screamo, mostly. Here we go.
Happening with European countries. I think we need to step back, and we need to do whatever it takes to ensure that there is a real two-state solution and that no one, not even the likes of Netanyahu, can veto the international community's commitment to a two-state solution.
Right, hold on a fucking second. I hadn't seen that part. That no one, not even Netanyahu, can veto the international community's consensus about a two-state solution. Okay.
Yeah.
That consensus has existed since the early 1970s.
Right. And the consensus
it's called UN Resolution 242.
Yes.
It is voted on every single November in the General Assembly. Okay? The entire world has voted one way with a few cowardly abstentions from certain Western powers, which is to say they voted for it. And the two countries that have voted against it repeatedly are the US and Israel, and then like the Marshall Islands and Nauru and Palau or whatever.
Cool.
Every single fucking year. Now, which of those two countries is closest to have something called veto power?
Right.
The US, how many fucking resolutions condemning Israel, compelling Israel, restraining Israel has the US vetoed?
All of them.
What a fucking asshole.
Yes. I mean,
this robot is. I mean,
right. Yeah.
It's weird to call a droid an asshole. But.
Yeah. You have to remember at the end of the day, he's not sentient and he's only learning from scraping the internet. So,
we need to capture him the way they did with K2 Solo and or K2SO and reprogram him.
Yeah.
Make him cute and deadly,
revolutionary Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I just think that we should kill Netanyahu.
Yeah, well, it was. It's a very profound question, and my answer is death to the IDF. Death to the IDF. Yeah, like it's him flipping the framing.
Would you like to know how many democratic norms you've violated?
Never tell me the odds. All right, well, let's finish.
Palestinians and Israelis living with safety, with security, with rights. I believe that can happen.
Rights.
But we have to actually show some commitment to it.
There should be some rights.
Yeah, there should be rights, and there should be this two-state solution. I mean, it is just watching the cowardice. It's like you can see in his eyes, I scared, which is so funny to me because I'm just like, well, what? Certainly I prepared, right? Like be prepared for answering this question in a way that, I mean, if you're going to be like a little, I don't know, weasel about it, tell your eyes, I don't know, practice in the mirror. There's something about the fear behind like something as simple as Palestinian statehood. And I'm sorry, but it is simple. I'm done with this idea of the complication behind saying this. Like, bro, you aren't, you're not in power. You can say whatever you want.
Look, preparing too much would kill the ethos of the Democratic Party when it comes to Israel. They're an improv troupe.
That's right. Yeah.
Except the premise is always the same.
Yes, right.
All right, I need a suggestion from the audience.
Let's see. Free Palestine. Free yes,
I
and
heard means testing.
yeah.
Did you see the beginning of that video too, where they're like, he says like, look, Israel has a right to defend itself, but like, if people are starving because of a choice made by a government, like that's really bad.
Yes.
And then he says like, we should give them weapons, but like, make sure they're not using it for bad stuff.
Yeah, we have we have the clip where he talks about what you do with a friend.
Only good stuff for these weapons.
Yeah. Here's a continued Mayor Pete answering some more questions in a brave fashion.
How do you think the next administration should handle our relationship with Israel? Do you think it should change based on what Netanyahu has done the last several years?
Well, certainly Netanyahu can't be the only voice or the only compass for what should happen in the U.S.-Israel relationship. And
we should listen to Ben Gvir too. We should listen to
think about
Lapid.
Smotrich.
Raise their voices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like Yoav Gallant has some really good ideas. Naftali Bennett, maybe just anyone in the Knesset. Anyone.
Miriam Adelson and Coleman Hughes for diversity.
Absolutely. Coleman Hughes has some ideas about good guys and bad guys.
Yeah.
Here's more.
How strongly, or especially because of how strongly you might believe in Israel's right to exist and defend itself. You don't have to make excuses for the choices that Netanyahu is making, especially because they are often made not only in the name of the Israeli people, but in the name
of Jews all around the world, because it is explicitly anti-Semitic?
Of a U.S. alliance.
I
think that we, as Israel's strongest ally and friend, you put your arm around your friend when there's something like this going on and talk about what we're prepared to do together. And
he's talking about Israel like it's Seth Rogen and James Franco. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's a good analogy because one is a notorious sex fiend and sex pest. But
keep bombing, keep starving, knowing you can always count on we. For sure. That's what friends are for.
Yeah, like the idea of, as buddies, you got to put your arm around your buddy and you expect him to be like, and tell them, hey, you got to stop acting up like this. Putting your arm around your buddy and then discussing what we can do together sounds like you're joining in on whatever fucking crime the buddy is committing.
Bro, slow down. I want in on this.
Yeah. Whoa, hey,
bro,
leave some for me.
Also, how I feel like making the line the starvation thing is almost darker too, because it's like, does that mean that you are on board with the shooting babies? Like,
right.
It's just.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the line that he sets down is like, starvation, where he goes like, starvation is unconscionable and all this stuff.
Well, from a populist America First perspective, which I don't know if that's the turn he's going to take a la J.D. Vance by the time of the next election, it does make sense because there's no money to be made in starving people. You can't even sell food to them. But think of all the the bullet factories,
the bullets,
and
exactly,
in rural Indiana that are not being used when we're killing people by mass starvation, as opposed to nuclear bombs.
Right. Yeah. It's a good point. I mean, like starvation. I mean, there's an entire market wiped out. Think of the markets. He's a McKinley guy or McKinsey, whatever it's fucking called. Yeah.
It's funny how McKinsey has Kinsey in it, the Kinsey scale.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
talk
about something there.
the McKinsey scale, yeah,
something there.
Of how aroused you get by prevaricating on Palestine questions.
Yeah, I'm like a 2 on the McKinsey scale. I mostly don't want to fix markets, but like if it's one that's really hot,
let's hear the end of this shit.
Strongest ally and friend. You put your arm around your friend when there's something like this going on.
Something like what?
Talk about what.
Yeah.
Something like what, Pete?
Something like stuff? What kind of stuff?
What we're prepared to do together. And it certainly cannot be what we see right now from this administration and this president talking about beachfront property in Gaza before he's prepared to talk about human suffering in Gaza.
Yeah. So again, I just want to repeat the question.
The next administration should handle our relationship with Israel? Do you think it should change based on what Netanyahu has done the last several years?
I mean, the idea that this question was answered with a long screed about how sometimes you just have to, like, you know, put your arm around your best friend and say, hey, you know, it ain't fun if the homies can't have none. Like,
I mean, what else is Trump doing but putting his arm around our friend and saying, what can we do together?
Right, exactly.
That's Trump's policy.
What has been the last few decades of the Israel-U.S. relationship other than that? I mean, and to be honest,
what is the mad scientist who programmed you, Pete, aka Barack Obama? What did he do?
I feel like also that's like what the Democrats want. Like that's their political goal is just to discuss human suffering. Like there's it can't be like, hey, let's stop like funding it with like actively with taxpayer dollars. It's like we should talk about it.
Ideally in Aspen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's why it's why among many reasons, it's why they lost to Trump this time around, was because like they couldn't even do that. They couldn't even do the lip service thing. Right. It's taken this long to do the gobbledygook like lip service that Pete Buttigieg just did. It's taken this long. And the fact that they couldn't do it before was so glaring, because it's like, isn't your whole thing being like, oh my God, I fucking hate suffering? Like, that's your whole thing, and doing nothing about it, but you at least said suffering bad. The idea that like now they're like, okay, we've come around to the point where when someone asks us if we should change our relationship with Israel, we can say loudly and proudly, we need to put our arm around our friend and join in on the fun. We need to, it's like, now we can say out loud, man, it kind of seems like this administration is not good when it comes to Israel, but he still can't say, of course, the relationship needs to fundamentally change. They're using our weapons in order to do war crimes.
No, it's just that it's gross to say that you want to build a hotel or whatever. That's
right.
Really
yeah, exactly.
He's doing it in a nasty way.
Yeah. It's really disgusting the way you are trying to build hotels on the graves of all of these people, when what we should be doing is just building a memorial.
Yeah.
You know, something to memorialize their future deaths.
We could be employing all the people of Gaza to build the future memorial that they can etch their own names into it in advance.
That's right. Exactly.
It's like a communal art project.
Win-win. Yeah. So some sort of like, mass celebration grave. It is so disheartening watching someone speak like that, but at the same time, I credit where credit is due again to PodSave. I'm not sure if they were trying to humiliate Mayor Pete in that, but I have not seen any positive takes on that interview, or at least the answers to those questions.
Well, I hear his support in the black community is up to 0%.
Oh shit! Once it keeps going, that's exponential. Yeah. Mayor Pete got to be.
That's 1,000 times what he had before the interview. It's literally 1,000 times. It's literally 1,000,000 times.
Any amount of times, because of the way math works.
It's literally infinity times.
Yes. He's a true scumbag, and if they run him, I don't know what they expect. What do they expect? They want to lose again? Fine, lose again. I don't give a shit. Fucking psychos. We need to move on to our last and most interesting piece of Hasbara. It's not really Hasbara, but it's very bad Hasbara related in that it has to do with a playwright who we have discussed a lot on this show
and quoted constantly.
Now we have quoted one of his plays a lot, Glenn Ross. We're talking about David Mamet. If you don't know who David Mamet is, he is a famous playwright. He made plays such as Glenn Ross, House of Cards or something.
That was a film.
House of Glass,
House of Cards, American Buffalo,
Buffalo. Mm-hmm.
Sexual Perversity in Chicago.
Yeah, I think the only thing I've seen is State and Maine, which is like a bad movie no one's heard of.
Yeah.
But it came out in like the 90s, and there's a scene in it where Alec Baldwin or something gets into a car crash and he goes, "So that just happened." And I think it's the first ever.
Did
so
Mamet
that just happened.
invent that?
Joss Whedon
I think he did.
Ripped that off.
I think it was him. I think it was Mamet.
He was the first "so that just happened" guy. So yeah, that just happened. So yeah, he went on a podcast. Apparently recently Mamet has been like sort of I haven't followed. I mean, I don't like read his shit or whatever, but apparently he's been super pro-Israel for the last like 22 months. I mean, maybe he was before that.
Well, long before. He's been very conservative
So
and Jewish supremacist for quite a while.
That's crazy. Yeah, I did not know that. But he went on a podcast. I don't know the name of the podcast. I don't know who the host of it is. It seems like an interesting fella. And they were discussing his
Fuck you. That's his name.
Yeah,
see, that's like Glenn Ross quote.
Yes, exactly. It turns out that like the way he writes characters is very much just him. It's his own voice. And
does he leave words out of sentences?
Sure. Here is David Mamet on a podcast discussing, well, some of his books and the way that he is mad about the way that college kids being pro-Palestine is being misrepresented by the host.
Earlier, which is the question is how that's funny. I don't get it. What's going on here? Which is why I wrote these books that you're kind enough to call polemical.
Two of them. I've also read a bunch of other ones, and they're not all polemical. It seems
is that a sketch? Is that Tim Heidegger?
No, apparently this is like an actual guy, and this is what the actual guy sounds like.
So it's really mopey and apologetic.
Yeah,
but also kind of passive aggressive.
For listeners, it's Call Her Daddy. I know the show.
Yeah.
If you're not watching, that's what it is.
And he's trying to explain, hey, I didn't say that everything you've written is polemical. I'm just saying the last two books are. And
this guy needs to put that coffee down.
Yeah. First of all, relax, host. You're tripping right now. I just
meant the coffee is for closers only.
I've never seen a more I don't know, a guy whose body language said, "I'm sorry, don't hit me," so hard.
And also, polemical is actually not a pejorative.
No, yeah.
It's a description of a particular writing style
it's a type,
intent. A polemic is I don't know what it is, but it has something to do with.
You can be a positive polemic.
Yeah, it's like syndicate.
Exactly.
You can be a positive Jewish news syndicate.
Yeah. Here's more.
The squishy thing is that your read?
Oh yes.
Okay.
So the what he's saying when he says the squishy thing, I believe the context of that is the way in which he is framing whether or not like From the River to the Sea is meant to be genocidal, or if it's just a call for Palestinian human rights. And he's calling it squishy. Mamet is saying you're being squishy about it. So that's that context. Here we go.
Is that your read?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Here's the thing: is to go back again. I'm a Jew, right? The river to the sea means kill all the Jews.
What?
Support the Intifada means kill all the Jews. People in hijabs and people in kafiyas standing on tables and screaming at Jewish children, storming into classrooms and breaking windows means kill all the Jews.
I'm sorry, but so far everything means kill all the Jews. I love the constant. I want his next book to be a dictionary, in which he just has household objects and what they mean. It's like it means kill all the Jews.
David Mamet's dictionary.
Yeah, exactly.
Full almond or oat milk. For that today, sir, means kill all the Jews.
Yeah,
I did not know what he looks like or sounds like. I really thought that he was just like a second Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah,
I know. Saw this video of him, and he's got like a popped jean jacket collar.
Yeah, he's popped his collar.
Acid washed.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and he's got like it's not a fully shaved. Clearly he had shaved his head. It looks like a few months ago, probably trying to intimidate kids in Colombia. But like very it's an Israel coated shaved head.
Yeah, he looks like Smotrich's older brother.
Yeah, older brother means kill all the Jews. All right.
For you to say, on the other hand, there may be some people out there that were involved in peaceful protest, it's a loathsome piece of anti-Semitism. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Thank you for talking to me.
He walks out, and then if you listen closely, he says, he screams, "What a dick."
So that just happened.
So that happened.
And that was David Mamet.
That's on Lemonada. Oh my God, that's the most milquetoast podcast network.
That is amazing. Sam Fragoso. I don't know who Sam Fragoso is.
It's called Talk Easy with David Mamet.
That's crazy.
The idea that he went on this fucking podcast with the most soft-spoken mouse of a host who was just like, is it possible that some people don't want to kill all the Jews? And David Mamet is just like, if you ask me once more whether or not everyone in the world doesn't want to kill Jews, I will walk out of this podcast.
That guy tried to kill David Mamet, right? That's horrifying. He wanted him dead.
Did you see all the anti-Semitism he was spewing, hunched over, crying? How do you get mad at an already crying guy? Like, to be threatened in any way by the way in which he's presented this, like, is it possible that some people want Palestine to be free, is like, you got to be so fucking weak-minded. You got to have been on some sort of pedestal for a long enough time that you just fucking are offended by the idea that someone would even ask you to think about this for, a few seconds.
I want to sit David Mamet down, get a younger Alec Baldwin in front of him, and have him say, "You think this is abuse? You think this is abuse, you fucking cocksucker?
Yeah.
You think this is, if you can't handle this, how are you going to handle the abuse you get on a sit?
Yeah.
This is a fucking podcast.
Yeah. It's called Talk Easy.
You know what you need to go on Lemonada Talk Easy podcasts?
Yeah.
You need brass balls to go on podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
He's stealing Gallagher's bit from WTF. I think that's wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Gallagher was the first to walk out. Was it OG Gallagher or Twin Gallagher?
I want to say it was OG, but maybe the Twin did it on a different episode later on.
It's possible.
That's what he
Twin
done.
often did that.
Well, I'm sure Mamet would love to smash a watermelon.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I was in college, I had the
Watermelon.
opportunity to potentially do stand-up opening for Gallagher, and it was canceled, but I really, really wanted to take a hammer and smash a grape as the opening bit and see if he shot me in the head or something.
Speaking of which, did I see? I'm doing my first ever stand-up routine in a couple of months at our live show. Did I commit the first sin of podcast? Of stand-up by actually quoting your bit?
I don't care.
There's no first sin.
Okay.
Yeah, the sin is doing stand-up.
Yes, exactly. The original sin is you decided to do stand-up, and you will be punished in eternity for that.
Exactly.
The only rules to stand-up are there's 3 rules. Number 1, don't wear shorts on stage.
That's right.
Number 2, don't heckle. And number 3, if someone more famous than you is telling you, must fuck chair. If someone more famous than you is accused of something, you have to keep quiet about it because it could affect your career.
And number 4, get to the bottom of these trans people.
Yeah.
There?
What's going on with trans?
On it.
Figure that out.
I'm realizing when you asked me if I was upset about the stand-up thing, I should have been like, you know what? Thank you.
Or you could have, as our friend Al Pacino said.
Yes. Or you could have responded with his
Roman.
own words. And here is Al Pacino's response to David Mamet walking off of Talk Easy.
Asshole. Where did you learn your trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot? Whoever told you that you could work with men? You fairy. You company man. You fucking child.
True story. When I applied to the NYU grad program in musical theater writing, which I entered exactly 20 years ago this month, part of my application package, they said you had to take a scene from a play or movie that's not a musical and musicalize it.
Oh.
And I took that monologue and I wrote a tango called Where Did You Learn Your Trade?
Wow. And it goes a little bit something like this. No, I was hoping you would
something like, you tried to follow my lead, but you lost me. Now 64 grand's what you cost me. That was the first
I like
line.
it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great scene to turn into a musical.
I didn't use the word stupid fucking cunt.
Oh, you should have. Yeah, you're trying to get into a liberal arts school, so
That's right.
You gotta watch out. Don't want to.
That was you wishing all Jews to die. What you just said.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm reporting you.
Yeah.
To the Jewish News Syndicate.
Yeah, yeah. He let the Jewish News Syndicate know all of the anti-Semitism you have experienced here on this podcast. Jeremy, have you experienced any anti-Semitism on this podcast?
Not yet. I was hoping for a little more.
Yeah. All right. Well,
make a big post about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you sure look miserly. How's that?
That's pretty good. I find that whenever I post online, people, especially on Twitter these days, people will like to point out, they're like, you're Jewish.
Yeah, you're a Jew. Yeah, Twitter is filled with that now, to the point where, like, at this point, I don't even read comments anymore because it'll just be like, says the Jew. And I'm like, yeah, I know, says the Jew. What are you?
I'm talking about matzo balls.
Yeah, exactly. Everything I say says the Jew. Like, you don't have to do that.
You know, Reb Nachman of Breslov has a story about that. Says the Jew.
Says the Jew. Stupid. So shout out to David Mamet for going on Talk Easy and not following the prompt and instead talking hard. And shout out to Jeremy Kaplowitz for coming on Bad Hasbara and talking easy with us. Yeah, thanks for coming on. Where can people find you and find your work?
I would love if people listen to Quorators. We should have you guys on.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's on all the things where you can listen to podcasts.
Absolutely. And we will have a link to that in the show notes. So please follow Jeremy on all the socials and listen to his podcast. Jeremy, once again, thank you for coming on. Patreon.com/badhasbara, badhasbara@gmail.com for all your questions, comments, and concerns. All right, everyone. Thanks again so much for listening. And until next time, from the river to the sea.
Hey, Kora, what's the name of the snowflake who wrote Glengarry?
That means kill all the Jews.
It sure does.
Jumping jacks was us. Push-ups was us. Krav Maga us. All karate us. Taking Molly us. Michael Jackson us. Yamaha keyboards us. Jar Jar Binks not us. And/or